Sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All Guru Shri Prabhupada and Gurudev. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet. Nashtaprayeshu Abhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishthikim. Today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 10, The Deliverance of the Yamala Arjuna Trees, from text 13 to 23. Text 13. Atheistic fools and rascals who are very much proud of wealth fail to see things as they are. Therefore, returning them to poverty is the proper ointment for their eyes, so they may see things as they are. At least a poverty-stricken man can realize how painful poverty is, and therefore he will not want others to be in a painful condition like his own. Text 14. By seeing their faces, one whose body has been pricked by pins can understand the pain of others who are pin pricked. Realizing that this pain is the same for everyone, he does not want others to suffer in that way. But one who has never been pricked by pins cannot understand this pain. Text 15. A poverty-stricken man must automatically undergo austerities and penitences because he does not have the wealth to possess anything. Thus, his false prestige is vanquished. Always in need of food, shelter, and clothing, he must be satisfied with what is obtained by the mercy of Providence. Undergoing such compulsory austerities is good for him because this purifies him and completely frees him from false ego. Text 16. Always hungry, longing for sufficient food, a poverty-stricken man gradually becomes weaker and weaker. Having no extra potency in his senses are automatically pacified. A poverty-stricken man therefore is unable to perform harmful, envious activities. In other words, such a man automatically gains the results of the austerities and penances adopted voluntarily by saintly persons. Text 17. Saintly persons may freely associate with those who are poverty-stricken, but not with those who are rich. A poverty-stricken man, by association with saintly persons, very soon becomes uninterested in material desires, and the dirty things within the core of his heart are cleansed away. Text 18. Saintly persons, sadhus, think of Krishna 24 hours a day. They have no clear interest. Why should people neglect the association of such exalted spiritual personalities and try to associate with materialistics, taking shelter of non-devotees, most of whom are proud and rich? Text 19. Therefore, since these two persons drunk with the liquor named Varuni and Madhvi, and unable to control their senses, have been blinded by the pride of celestial opulence and have become attached to women, I shall relieve them in their false prestige. Text 22 to 20 to 22. These two young men, Nalakuvera and Manikriva, are by fortune the sons of the great demigod Kuvera. But because of false prestige and madness after drinking liquor, they are so fallen that they are naked but cannot understand that they are. Therefore, because they are living like trees, for trees are naked but are not conscious, these two young men should receive the bodies of trees. This will be proper punishment. Nonetheless, after they become trees and until they are released by the mercy, they will have remembrance of their past sinful activities. Moreover, by my special favor, after the expiry of 100 years, by the measurement of the demigods, they will be able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, face to face, and thus revived their real position as devotees. Text 23. Sukadeva Goswami continued, having thus spoken, the great saint Devarshi Narada returned to his ashrama known as Narayana Ashrama, and Nalakuvera and Manigriva became twin Arjuna trees. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prashanti Mataji. Yeah, Hare Krishna, dear Hare Krishna Kirtan Prabhuji. Whenever you're ready, you can start, Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Dandavat Pranam. Am I audible, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prashanti Mataji, for reading the translations, and thank you, Sanana Prabhuji, for providing me this opportunity to discuss on Srimad Bhagavatam. And happy Ekadashi to everyone. So let me offer my prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे मुकुं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घये यत्किरि यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुतीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् Hare Krishna, everyone. So today we are gonna discuss a very beautiful pastime of deliverance of Nal Kuber, uh, son of uh, and Manigriv, son of Kuvera. So in this section, we will see in this whole chapter, we see like how the Lord mercy, there are different ways of getting the Lord mercy. Sometimes Lord mercy comes in the form of punishment from Guru. So there are many powerful lessons what we can take away from this whole chapter. And before we start, I'll quickly recap what we have seen so far. So why this pastime started? Because King Parikshit ask why did Devrishi Narad curse these two young men? What did they do? So, because Parikshit Maharaj was so inquisitive, he wanted to understand what happened, what was our pastime behind it. Then Sukadeva Goswami started explaining that Manigriva and Nalkuvera were rich and proud people, and they were intoxicated. And once they were in the Kailasha, and then during in the Mandakini river, they were enjoying with the girls without clothes. And when the Narad Muni arrived, they did not even pay attention that Narad Muni arrived, even though girls felt ashamed and they wear their clothes and they go away from that. But because they were intoxicated, they were having the false ego, false prestige, and due to that false prestige, they could not even recognize. They were not even in their consciousness. The Narada Muni Devrishi Narada Muni appeared there, and Narada Muni then cursed both the Nalkuver and Manigriv, and they become the tree. So in this current section, and we need to also understand that Narada Muni, when he cursed these two people, it was not out of anger, out of a revenge. It was a mercy of a guru, and it's a special mercy we need to understand because they also remember their past life, their bad deeds during the form of the tree, and even though when they release from the tree form, they also remember why they were punished in the tree form. So Narada Muni, you know, forward their consciousness, continue their consciousness even thereafter they release from the tree form. And then one of the special mercy, they got delivered from the Shri Krishna himself in the Vrindavan Dham. So that's a great benediction by the Guru. So in the current section from text 13 onwards, now Narada Muni will explain why poverty can be good, why the people who are poverty stricken, they are good, how they are better than the rich people. So in the text 13, so my discussion will be based on the Prabhupada purport today. So text 13 here, there is a keyword is Daridrayam Param Anjanam. So here Narad Muni is saying poverty is the best ointment for the eyes. So here Narad Muni is saying rascals who are very much proud of the wealth, they fail to see things as they are. Because when they achieve the wealth and lot of opulences, their fault that anytime when there is a wealth, there is a lot of opulence person on, it leads our false ego and false prestige. And whenever a person is poor, it leads to the compassion, realism, humility, tolerance. It, all these quality, good quality develops to when the person is poor in the poor condition. So a rascal who are very much proud of wealth fail to see the things as they are, and returning them to the poverty is a proper ointment for their eyes. So Prabhupada explained very, very good in this that a poverty is a person who is already poverty stricken in the past, but now he gets the money. Whenever he gets the money, because a humility, he developed the humility, he become the compassionate, and so he cannot see others in the same situation because he know I have also already seen this pain, I have experienced this pain, so now I don't want the others to see. So based on his capacity, current capacity, he's trying to help that person. So lot of philanthropic activity they do, like a person who comes from the poverty, now they have a money, they try to open the hospital, they try to open the schools for the education and free treatment for the poor people. So they do all kind of activity. So Prabhupada says one story here, Punar Mushiko Bhava, again become mouse. So there is a very good story analogy. So one time a mouse was there and he was roaming around very freely and he was happy in his life. Suddenly what happened? He was harassed by a cat and then mouse was struggling for his survival. Then he thought, what to do? What to do? How can I save my life? Then mouse went to one saint and asked saint, can you please help me? I'm struggling for my life. Can you please help me? Saint said, what do you want? Please make me the cat. If you make me the cat, then I will be safe. So Saint said, okay, I understand your situation. Tathastu, you now mouse transformed into the cat body. Now cat become very happy. He said, now nobody can do anything, so I can roam around freely. But suddenly what happened? A dog started harass the cat. Now, again, the cat has the same situation like the mouse. Now, cat is struggling for her survival. So now, cat again come to the saint. Please save me. Please save me. Please do something for me. I'm again struggling for my life. Please do something. So now, saint said, "What do you want now? Can you please make me the dog? Because not this dog is chasing me down, and I'm struggling for my life." So now, saint said, "Tathastu." Now that cat transformed to the dog body. Now dog is, very confident and then started roaming around freely and enjoying his life. Suddenly, a tiger started harassing the dog. Now again, dog come to the saint. Please save me again. Please help me again. I this tiger is now chasing me down and I'm struggling for my life. Please help me. So now saint said, okay, okay, don't worry. What do you want? Tell me that. I'll save you. Tell me what do you want. Tiger said, so dog said, can you please make me tiger so that this tiger cannot do anything to me? So saint said, okay, now you will become tiger. Tathastu. Now dog transform into the tiger body. Now the tiger, now because of the power, because of so what the understanding of this story is now that from mouse to tiger, he's puffing up his false ego. Now he's becoming more and more strong. Now as he become the tiger, now he's staring the saint. So saint says, why you're staring at me? He's saying, now I become tiger. Now nobody can do anything to me. Nobody can kill me. Now this tiger cannot also hurt me. And I'm feeling very hungry and I want to eat you. I want to kill you. So saint said, why you want to eat me? No, no, because I'm very powerful and I want to eat you. So saint was saint cursed him immediately. Now you again become the mouse. So what we can learn from this story, so that's why this story called Punar Mushiko Bhava. Because when we get the power and richness, a lot of opulences, our false prestige also increase. And when our false prestige increase, we don't, we were under the illusion, under the bewilderment, and then we don't we don't accept the right thing in our life. We reject the Krishna in our life. A lot of rich people, they don't feel like doing the devotion. They said, oh, what you're doing, Hare Krishna mantra, nothing happened from this month, because they don't understand that. So if we get that kind of power, more and more power, our cruelty increase, and we try to uh, um, um, dominate these material opulences more and more. We're trying to dominate more and more these material opulences. And for that, we may open the liquor shop, slaughterhouses, because we want to earn more money. So nowadays, in the Kali Yuga, Prabhupada explained, people are more and more worried about how they can more and more artha, and how they can do more and more kama. They don't care about the dharma and moksha. They don't know there are four pillar of the human life. There are two pillar, artha and kama. So they are over endeavoring for artha and over endeavoring for kama. So now Prabhupada says in Chaitanya Charitamrita verse that he says, when the pride only break, Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's mentioned that when the pride breaks, then only bhakti can enter. If you have a pride in your heart, only either pride can sit or bhakti can sit. Both cannot sit in the same heart. So, and again here, Prabhupada mentioned, I'm just, but too many points are mentioned, but I'll try to highlight some key points. Whenever we have a difficulty in our life, then we need to think about it's the mercy of a Krishna. It's an arrangement of a divine arrangement from the Krishna, that Krishna wanted us to, develop some good qualities, develop the humility, and we should never consider that as a punishment. So Narada Muni wanted to bring Nal Kuvera and Manigriv to the platform of a devotional service through poverty. Thus he cursed them. Since such is the mercy of Vaishnava, unless one is brought to the Vaishnava platform, one cannot be a good man. A Vaishnava never become a good man, however severely he performed the, however severely we punish him. He cannot develop the Vaishnava quality. He cannot be a good man. In the text 14 talk about one whose body has been pricked by the pins can understand it's the same theme. A person who has been pricked by the pins can understand the pain of other who are pin pricked. So one who suffers the pain does not want others to suffer the same situation, and because they develop the compassion for them. And a rich person, so Prabhupada gave a very good analogy. Rich person cannot understand what is hunger. A woman who did not deliver a baby, who never become a mom, cannot understand the pain of labor pain, cannot understand labor pain. So only the person who has experienced that situation can understand the pain of that misery, pain of that situation. So that's what the experience is. Experience humble us. And if a person never suffer any loss, then he cannot develop the quality of empathy. He cannot develop. So here Prabhupada then further discuss the laws of nature. If one killed an animal, so then definitely we need to understand that one is preparing himself to be killed in his next life or in future life by the same animal. If we are eating the animal, then definitely we are, digging our own things that we are going to be killed by or eaten by that person in future. So Prabhupada said, as I am eating an animal, that animal will have an opportunity to eat me in future. So now in text 15, Narad Muni says, Daridro niraham stambho. Niraham means free from false ego. So free from false ego. And Daridro means poverty. So poverty removes our false prestige and false ego. A poor person naturally become free from pride. Whenever he gets, he accepts a mercy. That is why this forced tapasya or simplify his life. So here Prabhupada says a spiritually advanced practitioner, just to become free from the material false prestige, he performed a lot of austerity and penances. And we have an example of Bharat Maharaj. Pandavas also went for exile, and Dhruv Maharaj, they went to forest and performed a lot of austerity. So param tapaha means highest austerity. So, but one who cannot voluntarily accept such austerity, like these kings, Bharat, Dhruva Maharaj, and all these saintly persons, they voluntarily accept these austerities so that they can purify themselves. But a person who cannot develop these austerity, they cannot practice this austerity voluntarily, then um, such austerity, then out of providence, they are put into that situation. So austerity is a good for everyone because it frees one from the material conditioning. Um, so so poor person naturally develop tolerance and simplicity, and then everyone aspire for that. Like all the great kings and great yogis, or our devotees, Vaishnavas in Chaitanya Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrita, we have seen a lot of examples we have. Um, who went through the lot of austerity penances for chanting the holy name, because that purify our heart. So in the text 16 talk about, so in the practical lesson what we can take away from text 15 is the goal is not to be poor. I mean, I just want to clarify, the goal is to be humble. How can we humble? Because sometime Krishna removes extra what we have to make us humble and to remind us what is essential for us, and so that we can remember that we are a servant, we are not a master. Because sometimes, because of this bhog vilas, because of this entanglement of this maya shakti, we forget what is our real position. We don't realize that we are servant, we are not a master. So goal is not to be poor. Devotees are also so rich, but goal is to be humble so that we can out of the pride, and we can devote our time, we can understand the real life, true purpose of our life, and serve the devotee and serve the Krishna. So now text 16 talk about, like now a poor person, now Narada Muni is saying hunger, longing for sufficient food, a poverty striking person become weaker and weaker. If person become weaker, his senses are also automatically weaker because his senses calm down, and his tendency for doing the violence is also decreased, because if there is a less power, then less ability to harm anything. Correct? Because there are key word is Indriyani Anushuyanti. Indriyani Anushuyanti means senses become subdued because of the poverty. And Himsa Vini Vartate. Himsa means violence. Vini Vartate means subdue, means reduces, go away. So such a man who is in the poverty stricken condition automatically gain the result of austerity and penance. He need not to do that, artificially, because it's by the arrangement of the providence. That is his, great conditioning, great luck, because that's why he's able to perform the austerity and penance by default. So now Prabhupada explained opinion of the experienced medical practitioner. So Prabhupada is saying, like a person, when diabetes happen, when tuberculosis happen. Prabhupada says diabetes is a result of overeating and tuberculosis is a result of undereating. So Vaishnava should not overeat, Vaishnava should not undereat, Vaishnava should have a balanced diet. Prabhupada say, make a simple life. If you have a cow, you have a land, then you can live a very good life peacefully, because if you're living that life, and you have in tip of your tongue you have name of a Krishna, you're living with a cow and a land, you can live happily. You don't need a lot of luxury in your life. Important is the name of the Krishna should be in your tip of your tongue always. So Prabhupada says here, one should eat prasadam to rectify all their accumulated sins. We should not do atyahara prayasa, because that will add more anarthas in our life, more sins in our life. And in that way, we can be entangled into this material engagement to develop ourselves financially. In text 17, now talk about, now Narada Muni is saying, saintly person may freely associate with those who are poverty stricken. Now Narada Muni is saying, saintly person easily associate with the people who are poor. Why? Because they are humble. They are compassionate to others. They are tolerant. And it is very difficult for a saintly person to connect with the rich people, because they are falsely proud. They have a lot of false ego. They don't care about sentiments. Similar situation of Nalkuver and Manigriv. Because even though Narad Muni appeared, they did not realize Narad Muni is there. They don't care. They were enjoying, still enjoying, even though a woman left. All the girls left there. So with saintly association, material desire reduce quickly and heart become purified. So in this verse, Prabhupada explained that only business of a saintly person on sannyasi is to preach the Krishna consciousness. So a saintly person want to preach to both poor and rich. It's not like saintly person is biased. He does only want to preach poor. No, he want to preach both the poor and rich. In the eye of saintly person, everyone is a part and parcel of Krishna. So he doesn't differentiate. But the poor person is easily approachable. Whenever he associates with the poor person, he received the sadhu. Poor person received the sadhu very quickly, offer them obeisances, and try to take the advantage of the saintly person. He submit them submissively, inquire about their spiritual upliftment, how they can spiritually advance. But when it comes to the rich person, it's very difficult to reach them because they always, Prabhupada mentioned, the rich person keeps a greyhound dog, and they mention in their door, beware of dog. So they do not allow even a saintly person to enter their house. So what about the association? What to talk about association? It's very difficult. And Narada Muni in his previous life have seen this situation, because in his previous life he was a son of a maidservant, and he has seen that situation, how association mattered, because he was able to serve the saintly people. He was able to fed the prasadam to the saintly person, and because of that service he became the Devrishi Narad Muni in this life. So that's why he's able to easily connect. In the poverty, it's very easy to spiritually advance, but it's not always the truth. But yeah, it's most of the time poor people can get connected with Krishna, with the devotees, with the Vaishnava very easily. So practical lesson what we can take from this verse, that our future, our destiny depends greatly on our association with the right people, our association with the sadhu. It's not what our position is. It's not what our status is. No, we are rich or we are poor or we are Indian or American. No, our future depends on whom we are associating with, whom we are sitting with, whom we are spending the time. If we sit with the devotee, our heart will change. If we sit with the materialistic people, we will degrade our life. Okay, so I think we are almost on the time, so I'll try to rush now. In the text 18, now Narad Muni is questioning who think Krishna 24 hours a day. Why should people neglect the association of such exalted spiritual person? Now Narad Muni is questioning why one should not associate with this saintly person when they get that kind of big advantage by their association. And why people in this Kali Yuga or in the age try to associate with the materialistic and rich people when they are not going to get anything out of it. So Prabhupada defined here in this verse the qualities of sadhu. That sadhu is tolerant, sadhu is merciful, sadhu is peaceful, and so, and wants that giving up the association with the sadhu. So Prabhupada is saying if one is giving up the association of sadhu, that means he is doing the spiritual suicide. He is finding his way to go to the hell. So people in our these days in this 21st century, in the Kali Yuga, people say, I don't have a time for all these things. This is all these activity of bhakti we will do in the retirement, after retirement. We don't have a time. But truth is, I have the time for what I value. If we have the time, what we value. But if we don't value things which are important for us, then we definitely never have a time, because we don't realize what is value for us, what is important for us. In the text 19, now Narad Muni is saying, therefore, since these two persons drank the liquor named Varuni, unable to control their senses, and because of they are blinded with the pride of opulence and become attached to the woman, they break all the four regulative principles what Prabhupada set for us. So I shall relieve them with their false prestige. So we should understand that Vaishnava's correction is always a mercy. We should never think in other way. So Narada Muni was subjected to such we should not think that Narada Muni is subjected to such a spirit of revenge. But this is not a tamha or revenge for a Narada Muni in full knowledge. It is the mercy to these two souls, mercy towards these souls. So Prabhupada is saying Vaishnavas are the good physicians. They know how to protect a person from the material disease. Now text 22, 20 and 22. Now here, uh, now here, these are the three verses. So here it's saying the Yad Imau Loka Palashya. Ya Imau means young demigod, and Loka Palashya means Loka Palasya means the Kuvera, who is a demigod, established demigod. And then Na Vivashyam means completely naked. They were completely naked. So now in this verse, these two young men, situation is telling that Nal Kuvera and Manigriv are son of the great demigod Kuvera, but because of the false prestige and madness, and after drinking liquor, they are so fallen, they are naked, cannot understand that they are what they are. They are living like a trees. For the trees, because trees are also naked, but are not conscious. So the dealing. So we need to understand the dealing of a genuine spiritual master, because they did not appropriately deal with the spiritual master in this case. So dealing of a genuine spiritual master may appear harsh in this case. Definitely it's look harsh for any materialistic person will hear this story and he does not understand the conclusion of this story. It will say like it's very harsh, like bitter in the beginning. So any dealing with the spiritual master, like when the devotees in the Prabhupada time also, Prabhupada very, very, sometimes harsh, to their devotees. But it will become harsh and bitter in the beginning, just as a Narada Muni occurs here in this case. But it do become a tree and it just appear as a punishment, and looks like it's forgotten for 100 demigod years. They will remain the tree. But it is the rarest award. This curse becomes the rarest award, rarest benediction, because they get the direct darshan of Krishna in this case. And because of the mercy of Narada Muni, they could able to revive their bhakti, which is dormant in their heart. Similarly, when we follow the discipline, in our life, whenever any new person join the Krishna consciousness, oh, you need to follow the four regulative principle. We need to follow these disciplines in the devotional life. Sometimes it's very heavy for the newcomers, very heavy for the newcomers or new conditional soul. But because chanting 16 round, wake up early in the morning, attend the Mangal Aarti, it's very difficult. Because in the beginning it's tasteless and burdensome. But this initial struggle, initial bitter sum is not a punishment, because it is a purification process. Because once we'll submit to the Guru, we pray to the Guru, we pray to the Krishna, we follow these principles religiously, then we will develop the taste for the holy name and our heart gradually purified. So as a doctor, when you give any medication, we have an example of jaundice, correct? Sugarcane juice also look bitter, but eventually it cure our disease, and our tongue restore the original taste of the sugarcane juice. So similarly, it develops, if we do the bhakti process, it will develop it is a medicine and it transforms our heart and it eventually tastes like a honey to us and develop the longing for Krishna. Okay. So, and then text 23 is saying like now Sukadev Goswami is saying, continued that having the spoken great saint Narada Muni returned to his ashram, he cursed them to become a tree, but great mercy also that you will remember this punishment after even deliverance, and you will remember in your tree consciousness also, you will remember why you become tree, and then you will get delivered by the Krishna. And then Narada Muni went to his Narada ashram, and Nal Kuvera Manigriv become the twins Arjuna tree, and then the next section we'll see how Krishna delivered them. And I think we can learn few practical lessons from this. I'll quickly wrap up in 2 minutes. So we need to understand few points, that we can get more and more wealth, but wealth without devotion leads to blindness and false prestige. So we should always not run behind the wealth if we don't have emotion. Yeah, we can run behind the wealth on an appropriate manner based on our guru's instructions. Correct? Without devotion, it's definitely we're going towards hell. And difficulty and loss can be, we should not think difficulty and loss, oh, it's a punishment. It can be a mercy in disguise, which is in this case. And then we can think of real compassion. When it's called, sometimes comes in the form of experience. Real compassion comes from experience, like poverty-stricken people. Based on their experience, they develop the compassion. and they're compassionate for others also. So real compassion can come from the practical experience, not just the theory. Oh, if I'm hungry, what could be that situation? No, it's very difficult. We cannot know. And then association, definitely sadhu sangha shapes our destiny. So we need to be sadhu sangha is everything for us. So we need to make sure we associate with the sadhu and follow all the four regulative principles and then follow our instruction of Guru. So I will stop here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय वंचा कल्प तरुवृक्षा कृपा सिंधु देवचा पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णेभ्यो नमो नमः. Please forgive me if I have made any mistake as your humble servant. Thank you so much for devotee for joining this call. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very
Hare
much, Prabhuji. Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you so much, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.